Forbes is back to practice, sort of. The offense is back on track, maybe. And Chase Young is back. That's a definite. All that and more on your special Sunday edition of the Daily Commanders Update for 6 August. Let's go. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to your special Sunday edition of your Daily Commanders Update. I'm Nathan Perry. That's the Stoner. We're Ref the District, and we give you all the good news that you need to know and sometimes bad news about your Washington Commanders on a daily basis. But it's really Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. You can catch us live on Wednesdays at 7:30 here on YouTube. Let's get right into it because today was kind of a nice day. They got a break Saturday. Washington's back at it in practice. Not only that, Stoner, but back at it is Emmanuel Forbes practicing, sort of. He was back doing kind of individual drills, but didn't participate in the 11-on-11 drills or anything like that. What do you have to make of him coming back so early?
Well, I think it's a really good sign that he was out there for the individual part. He wasn't just there for the stretching, which a lot of the injured guys do. Once the stretching finishes, they might go back into the building to work on things, in the training room. So him being back out there, although he didn't participate in the biggest part of practice, the most intense part, just being out there, I think that's a really, really good sign. But they are definitely going to be careful with him. Yeah, just like they should with anybody, though.
Yeah,
right?
You don't want the injury, especially something like this. A leg injury can be nagging as the season goes along. So the more you're kind of playing at it, the more that potentially is going to be a problem later. And this is a team that really could use Forbes. I mean, they were playing in the 11-11 and 7-on-7 drills. Wild Goose was getting in the slot action, and that's not something the team wants to see on a continual basis.
No, that's for sure. So yeah, he plays an important role, and everything that we've heard so far in camp that he's living up to the hype of a first round pick. So keep him healthy, save him for the important stuff, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Important to note, Danny Johnson actually did get first crack at that slot position. But moving on, the offense had a much better day, according to Zach Selby.
Yeah.
Much more efficient than they did Friday. And from what we could hear, the offense started kind of getting along. You had some good things happening here, as Zach was talking about Leno and Paul moving well on pull blocks and in open space.
Well, let's be fair. They couldn't get much better than Friday. Friday, by all accounts, was a really rough practice.
I mean, much worse than Friday, yeah.
Yeah. What did I say?
You said better. They could easily get better. That's a low bar to cross there for the offense.
Good call. Way to check me on that. Yeah, they couldn't get much worse than on Friday. But, so the offensive line seemed to improve a little bit. And you had the day off yesterday. And it was a long practice, too. And it's back to the hot days again, that cool weather. That's gone. Hot days, full pads, 2.5 hours in practice today. So it was a long one. But it's good that we're seeing signs that the offense bounced back from a really, really rough Friday.
Yeah, and we've kind of heard that, like, it's been a little bit of a roller coaster, and there's still some time. Now, might not be enough time to fix everything, but
sure,
there should be some good things to watch even as the offense comes. But those Baltimore practices can't come soon enough, especially for the likes of this defense, where they get to go up against some very strong, players on that Baltimore side of the house there. One of those players is going to be Chase Young, who's coming back. This is really his first full year back from injury. So he injured it in his sophomore year. Last year, only got to play 3 games. Looking like a very healthy Chase here, as today, according to JP Finley, he blew up a screen pass. That's the Chase Young that won Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, he's an important part, and being that it's his contract year, it's really important more for him than it is for the team. So hopefully this is a sign of things to come. He looks healthy. He looks explosive, and he's playing for a contract. You combine all that together, and you've got Chase Young, who's out there dominating, chirping, all of that, which is exactly what you want from Chase Young.
This is one of the things we've talked about on our flagship show on Wednesdays is a lot of people want to focus on sack totals. And they're like, he needs to have 15 sacks or double-digit sacks and everything. To me, and I know you're kind of along those lines.
I am.
For me, this is the player I need to see. I need to see that disruptive player. Maybe he only gets 9.5 sacks, but if he blows up screens on a routine basis, if there's like the game from his rookie year against San Francisco where he just takes over, that's the guy you're gonna want on your team going through the future. So,
but if you have him from the second year when he had 1.5 sacks, and even if he's getting a couple of disruptive plays on top of that,
I didn't say a couple, Stoner. I said he is constantly doing that disruption.
Okay.
And he's
right.
If you go back to his rookie year, that's what he was doing. He was getting forced fumbles. He was disrupting plays, and that's
scoring touchdowns.
And those are the kind of things that if Chase Young can get back to doing, he can have not the apex of sack totals, and it'll be just fine.
So if he has the 7.5 sacks that he had from his rookie year, plus all those disruptive plays that he had, then you're gonna be okay with that.
You'll entertain the idea of keeping him along. Yeah, you'll have to. It has to be a whole package.
Sure.
At least he's making the field. There have been some players not making the field, as Nikki J gives us the update on this. Logan Thomas sat out with a calf injury again.
Yeah.
A little worrisome because this is again not a great tight end group. Going through individual, we mentioned Emmanuel Forbes, Sadiq Charles back to individual drills. Your man Chris Paul taking over at the left guard spot. Is there hope for Charles to play significant minutes this year?
I think there is, just because of injury. He's not going to be. I think Chris Paul is taking this opportunity and he's running with it. He's saying, okay, Sadiq, you got this banged up calf or whatever. I'm going to get in there and I'm going to show these coaches what I can do running with the ones. And he's done that for the most part. I think he's starting to solidify his spot there at left guard. And I think Sadiq actually might have gotten out there a little bit in the 11-on-11s when they were playing today. So he is getting a little bit healthier, but he doesn't have room to be sitting out practices. Yeah. He doesn't have the equity built up with this team to be sitting out. Like if Charles Leno sat out a practice or two, or even in this case, Logan Thomas sitting out a practice or two, what he can do. So you're okay.
You're not, they aren't losing their spot on the roster for that. Whereas Sadiq Charles is potentially, like, he has the inside track at the starting left guard position.
Yeah.
But he's got to show that he can stay healthy for this team to do it. Chris Paul doing some wonderful work there. Yep. Let's get to Cody Barton and Curtis Hodges, both full practice today in practice. Again, not too deep on either one of those positions, so you need those two healthy as they go along.
Are you concerned about Logan? This is not only did he miss Friday, but you had an off day yesterday, and then today he misses again. So that's really 3 straight days.
He's also north of 30.
Yeah.
You know what you're going to get from him.
Yeah.
That if he were a younger player,
if it was Cole Turner.
Exactly. Right. If this was Cole Turner, I would show some concern because you need those reps. He doesn't need those reps.
Okay.
Now, where any concern might be is the chemistry between him and Sam Howell or Jacoby Brissett or Jake Fromm. I'm making sure I list all 3 because I don't need the other howlers to get on me for even dare mentioning Jacoby.
Well, that's what Ron does. Ron's always sure to say all the
gotta list them all. List them all. But the chemistry is probably the only thing I'd be concerned with, especially as we've talked about tight ends or a little bit of a security blanket for young QBs. And if Logan isn't out there working with Sam, how's that chemistry really going to work throughout the time?
Yeah, absolutely. And I am just concerned just because of his injury history in the last couple of years. That's the only thing that concerns me, but it's way early. We're still 5 weeks from the regular season start. He's got plenty of time to get healthy.
Yeah, I can see him even during the season getting a vet day of rest throughout the weeks, just because, again, he's 32 this year. Someone's going to fact check me on that. But I mean, he's getting up there, so reliable, but you gotta give him his time to rest here.
Yep.
Maybe not so reliable at getting onto the field is the Ferrari of the group. Curtis Samuel missing practice yet again here from Matthew Paris here, telling us that there was some tightness in the body. Curtis Samuel saying, I'm feeling good, a little tightness. I don't want to get it to the point where anything can happen, but I feel good. I'm just going to keep taking my body and get ready for tomorrow. It's from Curtis Samuel, courtesy of Matthew Paris.
Yeah.
Are you concerned here? This is a guy who's had some injury history here, missed pretty much an entire season, didn't really explode last year for Washington. Now we were expecting some big things. Curtis Samuel may be in danger of not playing again.
Well, he practiced the first half of practice, and then he just missed the second half of practice. So he was out there, and if really, again, if it was anybody else, you probably would say that's fine. Like in the case of Forbes, you're like, okay, that's fine. We don't want to tweak anything. And if you're feeling something, but he has a history of sitting there and saying, oh, it's no big deal, I'm feeling okay. And then 3.5 months later, he finally gets out on the field.
Yeah.
So there's a history with him of saying he's okay when he's not okay.
Sure. It's not just him. It's the team with him where they're like, he's not on the injury report, but then they just don't put him out there. And you're just like, well, if he's not injured, why is he not seeing the field? And then it comes out later that there's this injury.
Yep.
I am concerned because, again, there is the history there. And this is a player who I think a lot of people, when you talk about Washington's wide receiver room, a lot of people are very, very high on them. They think that this is a trio that could be a top 10 trio. You got Terry McLaurin, who is getting his flowers this year. A lot of people consider him top 15, some even top 10. You got Jahan Dotson, who had a good rookie year. A lot of people are expecting a breakout year. And then they mentioned Curtis Samuel because this is a guy who had a good year in Carolina, came here, big expectations, kind of a Swiss Army knife and what you can do with him and place him all over the field. But you just haven't seen that. And so my concern is if you have him down, I know the team talks pretty highly of the wide receivers behind those three. But let's face it, there is a drop-off. There is a drop-off after Curtis Samuel.
100%, because you don't even know right now. You can't tell me for sure who the three backups are. If you go 1, 2, 3, 4 with Bieniemy Brown as the 4, you can't tell me right now who 5, 6, and 7 is. You can't, because we don't know, because some guys are
where
popping.
The camp battle is, yeah.
Exactly. So whoever that is no way on the level of those top 3, and even possibly 4 with Bieniemy Brown having a good camp.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good from all reports. Sam knows him and likes him, so hopefully we'll see some good things here. Speaking about some playing time this preseason, still this one for Matthew Paris. Ron Rivera points to those 2-day joint practice with Baltimore, and they'll be beneficial. So what does this mean? Like, because he's being asked about playing time in the preseason, and the response immediately goes to the Baltimore practices.
Yeah, you're probably going to see Sam in the ones on offense. You're probably going to see him for 1, maybe 2 series, probably at most. I don't care how they look. Even if they look absolutely terrible and out of sync, I don't think they're going to throw him out there again, knowing that they've got those 2 days of practice against Baltimore the following week. And then they're going to play a game against them at the end of the week. So I just think they're going to look at Friday's game as a glorified scrimmage when all the backups are going to play. You're going to see so much Jake Fromm. You're going to get sick of saying his name. He's going to play so much. I mean, Jacoby Brissett might get 2 series at most.
Sure.
And it's going to be they don't want to play anybody.
This is where they have to weed down the roster. You got to remember this roster is bloated right now, 90 people. Eventually they got to get to 53, but those first rounds of cuts are coming up. So this is where you got to see the end of the roster guys who aren't going to make it to the next series of cuts. And so it'll be interesting. Game is Friday against Cleveland. Practice this week, as we talked with Logan Paulson on Friday, kind of just normal camp practice, not even game planning against the Browns. And then we'll kind of have a high school game there with the Browns, and then moving on to the Baltimore practice.
Can't wait for the Baltimore practice.
It's going to be so good. I wish I really wish they were being recorded like Hard Knock style, because that would be something for Washington to really enjoy.
I might have to go. It's like 20 minutes from the house.
You have to go. You have to go.
I got to get tickets. The tickets are sold out, though. I got to find
everybody listening to this. Either throw it in the YouTube comments or let us know at one of our socials that Stoner has to go. Hit us up. Absolutely. If you don't go, Stoner, you might miss out on Jace Whitaker.
Oh,
newly signed to the team here, releasing guard Keaton Sutherland, who it's surprising to cut a position that you have serious question marks on. But how much of this Jace Whitaker being a cornerback is due to Forbes tweaking his leg injury?
Yeah, it's probably just a numbers game, though. That's all I think it is. Maybe they were going to sign him before the Forbes thing. Maybe not. Whatever. I mean, he's just a camp body anyway. I hope you might see Keaton Sutherland back again in 24 hours. No, fell flat. Kiefer Sutherland, 24. No, didn't work. But yeah, he's just a camp. Jace Whitaker's just a camp body, and God bless him. He'll be here for a few weeks, and then he'll be looking for a new spot.
He'll play a lot against Cleveland.
He definitely
and then
will.
You'll never see him again. All right. This is the most contentious part of our Daily Commanders update. Let's move on to the Sam Howell tracker. I wish I need to get a music cue for that.
Oh yeah, we need a theme song for this.
Yeah,
maybe I'll sing something.
Let's not get carried away, Stoner.
Sam Howell tracker, we all want to see. It's here every day for you and me.
Sam Howell That's not it. Sam Howell tracker. Gonna put you big screen here.
Oh, I love big screen Sam Howell tracker. Okay. So we heard the vibes we got in practice today were that the offense was moving a lot better. Sam Howell did have another interception, I believe, to Derek Forrest, I believe, got him, but he had some bad throws. He had some good throws. He was very up and down, usual, but the offense looked better. And for our guy, Gibbs, old school 2547, I think it is, who wants us to be an offense tracker, it's not. It's still a Sam Howell tracker, but I've got to go ahead and oh, wait a minute. That's not correct. I dropped the wrong one. We are going to give Sam a good day today. The offense looked better, and Sam did well today. Wait. Oh, there we go. All right. So for August 6th down here, we're almost out of room. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll have to just get it
You're going to have to condense it is what you're going to have to do.
August 6th, I will give him a good day. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 5.
There you go. He's got
5 not so good.
Even schedule, which is what you expect from a first-year starter, second-year pro.
Yep.
Again, Sam Howell coming into his own. We've heard a lot of positive things. Logan Paulson talked pretty highly.
He did
of Sam Howell. So
which was funny also of how high he talked of him because he hadn't seen Friday's from practice that day, which was his worst day so far. But still, he gets kind of the overall picture, which is that he's doing pretty well.
I think what we've heard, kind of reading between the lines from everyone we've had on Ref the District, is the tools are absolutely there. 100%. You can see that Sam Howell could be successful. How successful, we're going to have to wait for the season, but we'll keep tabs on that and let you know how we think things are going. This has been your special edition of a Daily Commanders update. We will be back tomorrow to give you the Monday edition, the normal Monday edition. But until next time,
don't sleep on my guy, Chris Paul.
Be a fan.
Point guard.